Hello, everyone.
Hi, you're here.
Yes, and I'm so happy I'm not alone this time. So I asked Lana to join me, and I'm very happy because today I want to talk with you about personal branding, and personal branding is something very dear to me. And where to start, actually?
Yes.
There's so many things about personal branding.
What are the basics? What is the fundamentals?
What are the actually the main thing that everybody should know is that everybody has a personal branding. Even if you don't do it consciously, if you don't take steps towards it, you still do have it. And this personal branding is given by everything that you do, the people you connect, the content that you are posting on social media, be it Facebook, be it LinkedIn, Twitter, doesn't matter. Every small thing that you're posting and make it live, basically, that contributes to your personal branding. Every single time you're interacting, like what you are doing here, or when we are meeting to discuss something business related, that's part of the personal branding. Actually, not even only business related, but every single discussions that you are having contributes to your personal branding. Personal branding is basically about visibility, how people perceive you, and about how visible you are. I think everybody knows, like, branding, it's actually what people say about you in the moment you are not in that room. And that applies to companies, but also applies to people, to individuals. And I think what I want you to, if you get something out of today, hope you get more, but the thing that needs to stick to you is that everybody has a personal branding, and it's a difference between personal branding and your company branding. And this is what I would like to discuss a little bit more, because what I'm noticing, and I think you see it even more than I do, a lot of my clients are actually confusing these two notions. And they consider that what they do as a person doesn't really affect the company, or they don't build actively a company branding, because they say what they do as a person, it's enough. And this is actually what I would like to discuss a little bit more today, and maybe you can share your intake into this. And there are two different things here. It's true, you need to use your personal branding in order to grow your company branding, and everybody does it, and you need to do it at the beginning, because otherwise it's actually impossible.
In a sense, it's leveraging who you are.
Exactly. Yeah. Because your company, it's part of who you are. And a lot of the main characters that you find and the main values that you have as a person and as an entrepreneur, actually, they are I can't find the word. they can be seen in the company values and in the mission of the company. And as an entrepreneur, we are all driven by something, by our passion. And this passion defines us as a company, but also defines us as an individual, but also defines the company that we start, we create, and we start growing with it. Sorry, Rob, I'm trying not to. I think the internet connection is not the best here. So we are not moving so much. Sorry. Okay, so I was saying that these two need to be leveraged. My advice is for every single individual, actually create a company branding. Because if you want to create something that you can pass on, that you can hire people to help you grow it, you needs to be an identity, needs to have an identity in itself, and a specific brand, a specific voice. That, of course, your own personality will be defined there. To the left, okay. That can be and should be defined there. However, is different from you as a person. And like you, Lana, you are a mom, you are a wife, but you are also a business owner. And the business is, when you are in business, you are different than how you are with your kids. And this is a small thing that makes such a big difference, though, in the overall picture. Yeah. And it's the same with the company. You want to create a personality for that company, a company that is able to grow by itself. Of course, more things need to be taken into account, but you don't need to be there all the time.
Yes, because to just have that
flexibility
image, just to have that image immediately in people's minds.
Exactly. Just think when you think about Facebook. What do you think about?
Well, that's also one of the reasons why I've shifted, things that I share related to the things that my children do. I have it in a more personal Facebook group with my relatives.
You start making a difference.
Yes.
Exactly, because you are not only your business and you are not only your family.
Yeah.
And you have different audiences that are interested in your different personalities, and same applies to you. It's a little bit harder. For example, we have Rob that is watching now, and thank you for helping us be well in the framed. For him, actually, his name is his business, and him is, but he also has actually a company. But it's a difference between you when the business is related only to you and you can't take yourself out of the equation, and that happens usually to different therapeutes or coaches. But if, for example, I do work with different other people, not only with myself, so it makes sense to actually have a company name. As said, that doesn't mean I will be taken out of the equation, or I will not use my own personal network to promote it. It makes sense to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But there are things that you do promote as a company and you don't promote as an individual, and the other way around.
Yes, I can imagine that for some of those who would be watching this, and those who are what we consider to be multi-potentialite, those that has so many hats. You're like, okay, well, how do I brand myself when I'm an artist? I'm a writer. I do this. I do
Speaker.
that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So perhaps before we end this live, what can be your tip for the multi-potentialites who are struggling with how do I brand myself?
It's a smart question. It's a very good question, because those people have the biggest struggle with it. The fact that you are an artist and you're a speaker and you are also a painter doesn't mean you need to have them. You are right. Yes. Doesn't mean you need to have, maybe you can have 3 different companies, or maybe you just have a company that is focusing on arts, and arts means also painting, means also public speaking can be, and different other things. So in that case, you can actually, to make I need to make a comment here. Depends also what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to be only you by yourself and to promote you as a freelancer, for example, and doesn't matter where you go, people just need to know you? In that case, stick to your name.
Mm-hmm.
Don't create a company. I'm me, Veronica, and I'm a freelancer, and I can travel everywhere, and my network is worldwide, but they know me because of me personally.
Mm-hmm.
And then you stick with your name, and be that you are an artist or you are whatever you are, doesn't matter. All the hats that you have, you present them there. But you need to be very concise and to simplify everything as much as possible, especially if you have more hats, because then it's getting crazy. However, if you don't want to be only you and your services, what you can offer, but if you want to actually make it as a company, like you do with the L, for example, or what I want to do with Spin Ideas, then my advice is to actually make sure you create a presence and a branding for your company. Because then you have flexibility. It's easier to pivotate, and it's easier to bring people in for specific projects. It's easier to actually create something bigger. And it's easier if you decide I had enough, but you build all that and you don't want to go to waste, to actually pass it to someone else. So in the end, it will be your legacy, because you're talking about legacy a lot. You can make it as your legacy that you can actually give away to someone else to continue work on it. You build a base, basically. That's the most important thing. If you work only on your personal branding, the moment you decide enough, it's enough, and I need a break, everything stops. However, if you build a company, there are different ways where you can still keep it live and keep it present, and people will not forget it. So bottom line is, what do you want?
That's a big question.
And thank you, Rob, for being here. And if you
So he
guys...
has a question.
Oh, you have a question. How do you think about business pages? Business, there are 2 different things. A private account is your private account, in one that like you said, or like I do, I just share things with my family or my friends, and I don't want everyone to know them. And then you make them private. A business page, it's something. I actually do have a business page. The business page is for businesses. Is the image, is basically the branding for an image. Yes, on Facebook. I'm talking about Facebook. So if you want to communicate as a company and your audience is actually on Facebook, in that case you need to build a business page up, because people look at the business page. And afterwards, if you want more engagement, you can do like Lana is doing, like this collab community group where we are present now and we are doing this session. Or you can just have the conversation on your page, on your Facebook page. That's also fine. Depends again on
what you want
and where your audience is. That's very important.
I think another advantage of having the page, especially for service-based entrepreneurs, is the ability to have recommendations already put there. So if you're a service-based entrepreneur, having your business page in Facebook gives that ability to ask people that you've worked with to, hey, can you rate the work that we did together, even not service-based, if you have a product, but at least you can have those recommendations there. And people love looking through recommendations and hearing how much you've worked with another person and what is the impact that you've created to them.
Correct. I know we are going a little bit longer than we said.
Yes.
But I love you made such a great point, because maybe this should be a topic we should discuss next time. Recommendations and referrals. Basically, when somebody was happy with your work and does a recommendation for you, or just write a testimonial, it kind of endorses you and also shows how you are as a company. Because it's one thing that what I say about me, but a different thing what you say about a company. And just the basic example, think about you when you're buying something. You need a fridge, a new fridge or a dishwasher or whatever you need in a house. The first thing that you do, you go to Amazon or Bol.com or I don't know, different platforms. And the first thing that you do, actually, you look at what customers are saying about that product. And this applies the same. When someone wants to hire you, what they do, they ask their friends first of all. And if the friend says, yes, I work with that person and I loved working with that person because A, B, C, D. Or what you can also do, place a video or a testimonial, or doesn't matter, it can be written or video, and people will start knowing why are you special, why they should work with you and not work with someone else that is out there. So do use the Facebook page for this, and don't stick to referrals only there. Actually, you can actually have the referrals in any format, but do share them everywhere. And I think that's it for today. That's it for today. Only if anyone has any questions, and if we don't have, if you can't watch it live, but you'll watch it at a later stage, feel free to ask your question, and I will make sure to come and comment. Also, because we are talking about personal branding, now you see me as a person. However, you should follow my company, Spin Ideas, and I will link it in the comments. Because what I share there, it's all about marketing, but it's a different content from what I say here. So please do follow me, and looking forward to hear your questions.
Till the next time.
Till the next time.
Bye.
Bye.